Miss President, the Japanese has recently bombed Pearl Harbor. There has been over 2,000 casualties, and we must act upon it now.
The Japanese would not stop. An attack on Pearl Harbor has crossed the limit. President, I suggest you bombing major cities.
Mr. President, the ships and the atomic bombs are ready to be deployed. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and Tokyo should be the main targets.
I completely agree. We gotta bomb them back.
Before contributing to this act, we must all sign this approval.
President, you sign first. Admiral, you sign second. Secretary, please sign.
General, you sign last. Approved.
The American people celebrated the surrender of the Empire of Japan on the ship USS Missouri on September 2nd, 1945.
This officially ended World War II, which was the bloodiest conflict in history, with 55 million civilian deaths, 25 million deaths related to disease, and 25 million military deaths. June 28, 1914, in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
May I please get the attention of the commander and the general?
I'll go get them.
Thank you.
General, Commander, Secretary would like to have a meeting.
Hello, Commander. Hello, General.
Hello.
I have called you today to discuss that we, the country of Germany, are proposing to sink U.S. ships and attack the warfare on the submarines.
When will this be occurring?
We plan to do this as soon as possible.
Next week would be fine.
And what weapons will we use to sink the boats?
We plan to use U-boats to attack the ships.
Yes, U-boats are finest technology.
Well, I think we have a plan then. All those in favor, please raise your hand. This vote clearly passes. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
German submarines called U-boats attacked Allied ships, and on May 7, 1915, a German U-boat sunk a British ocean liner, the Lusitania, which resulted in over 100 American deaths, and was a key factor in the Americans joining World War I. The Lusitania was also carrying weapons to the Allied powers in Europe.
Good afternoon, Congress. As the President, I believe we, the United States of America, should declare war on Germany to protect our citizens, allies, and constitutional values.
All those in favor of the President's proposal say aye.
Aye.
Aye. This clearly passes.
World War I officially ends on November 11, 1918.
Russia.
Britain.
France.
Germany.
German spies goes to Poland and gathers intelligence about their territory and defense strategies for the invasion of Poland in September 1939. This was Germany's first military invasion led by Nazi leader Adolf Hitler, putting them directly in the center of the war in Europe, which turned out to be World War II.
Invade!
We declare war on Germany.
That sounds like a great idea. Let's do it.
I have come to the conclusion that the United States should not join the war with the British.
I agree. The American people are demanding us to stay out of the war as long as we possibly can.
We have come to the decision to officially join Great Britain in the war in Europe.
We're going to help aid and supply the British. We're going to help them with medical assistance and supply them with weapons.
The United States defeat Japan in the Battle of Midway. America proved through this battle that they were the supreme navy in the world and had the firepower to overcome the Japanese.
We, the country of the United States, will trade you 50 tank destroyers for land in Newfoundland for exchange of naval and air bases.
We, the country of Great Britain, will allow you to use our land for exchange of naval and air bases.
I am a Japanese spy. We are currently over the Pacific Ocean. My commanders gave me commands to use airstrikes against Pearl Harbor. We are gonna bomb Pearl Harbor.
+1,500 soldiers and several U.S. battleships damaged or destroyed in 3 aircraft carriers, main target of the raid, were not in the port at the time. Over 350 aircraft are also destroyed, attacked by the U.S. by surprise, and occurred early in the morning of December 7, 1941.
I declare war!
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
In 1942, the United States military reinforced Allied troops led by the British with men for the first time in Europe, helping to defeat Axis powers and Germany. We need reinforcements.
In what ways did industrialization help the war for America?
Industrialization was used to create planes and weapons to fight the war.
How many people are currently in the U.S. military?
There are 3.4 military in the Navy, 2.4 million in the Air Force, 500,000 in the Marines, and 170,000 Coast Guard.
What are the plans to attack Japan in the future?
I propose we have a meeting.
The General, Commander, Admiral, Secretary of State, and President should be in presence.
Ms. President, the Japanese has recently bombed Pearl Harbor. There has been over 2,000 casualties, and we must act upon it now.
The Japanese would not stop. An attack on Pearl Harbor has crossed the limit. President, I suggest you bombing major cities.
Mr. President, the ships and the atomic bombs are ready to be deployed. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and Tokyo should be the main targets.
I completely agree. We gotta bomb them back.
Before contributing to this act, we must all sign this approval.
President, you sign first. Admiral, you sign second. Secretary, please sign.
General, you sign last. Approved. An American B-19 fighter jet dropped 2 atomic bombs, one on Hiroshima August 6th and Nagasaki August 9th, 1945.
At 10:58 the morning of August 9th, the bomb was exploded above the city, and in the towering mushroom, Japan could read its doom. This was more than a routine bombing. It was the funeral pyre of an aggressor nation. The bomb had been purposely exploded high, so that the greatest part of its radioactive material was dissipated in the stratosphere.
Mr. Shigemitsu comes to the surrender table. These dramatic first pictures were made by newsreel war correspondents and Army and Navy cameramen and was specially flown back from Tokyo. The time is 9:05 a.m. The Japanese have been on board exactly 10 minutes. General MacArthur signs as Supreme Allied Commander. MacArthur uses 6 pens in all, affixing what will be the most important signature in Japan to the document that ends permanently that nation's regime of terror and aggression.